Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be making a famous recipe from the New York Times Cooking. This is a lemony white bean soup with turkey and greens. I'm going to be using kale today. This recipe got over 11,000 views and I want to see why because I really love soup. Please join me and see what this is all about. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I would love it. You'll find the ingredients listed below in the description box, and you'll find the full recipe at Diane's World Cooking on Facebook. Thanks to the New York Times, and please enjoy.
You'll need a large white onion, and you're going to want to take that and dice it really small. That's perfect for soup size. Then peel a large carrot, and I cut it into sections so it's manageable, and I'm going to dice that really small too to match the onion size. Put your diced onion and your diced carrot aside. All you need 3 large garlic cloves, and I love to split them in half this way. The peel comes off really easily. Now you want to mince your garlic really fine. Get about a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger. I'm using a spoon to peel it. I just push it along the skin and it comes right off. It's a great way to peel it. Now I'm going to dice it. You'll need a heavy-duty soup pot, and I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and now I'm going to add those onions that I diced and also that carrot. Add about 1 teaspoon of kosher or sea salt. This helps sweat your onions and it makes your vegetables taste really good in the end. Cook them until they're sort of a light golden brown. Now I'm going to add about 1 heaping tablespoon of tomato paste. I want to cook that in with the onion and carrot mixture just for a little bit so it can really develop some good flavor. You'll want to add about 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. The recipe calls for 3/4 teaspoon, and it says you can add a little more if you want. I'm also doing some red chili pepper flakes. Give everything a really good stir and let those spices bloom and develop flavor. Now I'm adding in my chopped garlic and my chopped ginger, and this is just going to make this soup taste so good. If you have a little extra ginger, you can preserve it. You can also freeze it. So stir that in and get that cooked off just for about another minute. Here comes about a 1/2 pound of ground turkey. You really want to cook this thoroughly, mush it up, make sure it's totally done. It's going to develop beautiful flavor from everything you've got in this pan already. Add 1 quart or 32 ounces of chicken stock. This is going to be just enough, believe it or not. The soup is going to be a little bit hearty. I'm also throwing in the white beans. I only had 1 can, but the recipe calls for 2, and it came out great with 1 can, but 2 would have really filled it in and made it thicker. I've put the lid on and I'm cooking it for maybe about 15 minutes. Now I'm adding some baby kale. I really love using baby kale. It's really delicate. I don't have to chop it. It's all ready to go. After your soup is cooked for about 10 or 15 minutes and the greens are soft, I'm adding some chopped parsley. The New York Times tells you can use a variety of herbs. I couldn't find any basil, but I would have loved that. Now I'm going to add the juice of 1 whole lemon, and this is where that lemony part comes in, and it is just magnificent. It just makes the soup perfect. Stir everything together, and now I'm going to give it a little bit of a taste. I need to see if I need some salt in there, and almost always at the end of your cooking I find you really need some salt to pick up all the flavors. I have about a teaspoon of salt left in my salt cellar, so I'm going to add that, and the New York Times tells you can actually freshen it up also with a little bit of cumin, so I'm sprinkling a tiny bit in there. Not too much or it might be overpowering. The soup is really ready to go. I wouldn't want to cook it any longer. I'm shutting it off because that lemon flavor will just dissolve. So, time to eat.
The soup is done, and now it's time to cool. I can't wait to taste this. That little taste I did before I seasoned it a little bit more was really good. So let's see what the final verdict is.
I love all the textures in this soup between the white beans and the ground turkey and the kale. It's just right, and it's just thick enough too. And you want to have some of that broth because the flavor is just incredible with all those little spices and with all the lemon. So here goes.
So let's see how this famous New York Times recipe tastes. I just think it's going to be wonderful. I can just tell by looking at it. I'll let it cool down a little bit. Okay, first taste. Oh yeah, this is fabulous. I love the flavor of the cumin in it and that little bit of lemon. You can add a little bit more if you want, but I think this is something I'm going to make again and again. What a great soup for the winter months or any time of the year. It has a little kick from the chili pepper flakes, but just enough. And you could leave the turkey out if you're vegetarian. You could add a plant-based ground meat to it, but I think this is just right. Thanks for watching, and I really do hope you get to make this.